Thanks everybody for coming. Let's bring our solid waste folks up. Jill, Sutan, come on up. And whoever else wants to come up with a department, that would be great. Anybody? Don't be shy. We're doing Friday's Heroes a little bit early today, so thank you everybody for accommodating your schedules to come down as we celebrate and tell some great stories about our city employees, about our public safety professionals in the city of Albuquerque, and then of course today we're going to be celebrating some of our National Night Out Albuquerque Block Captains Association for their role in making sure our city's great and safe and moving forward. The first thing we're going to do today is Employee of the Week, and this is a really, really interesting story, and I want to commend Sutan for letting us do this, and if I pronounce her name incorrectly, please don't hesitate. Today we're honoring a gentleman who came from a situation that wasn't obviously optimal, came from a bad situation, and he has turned his life around and he's excelling at the city of Albuquerque and at the Solid Waste Management Department. With me today is Sutan Sanavang. Sanavong?
Yes, sir.
I will say that wrong several times, I'm sure, today. Sanavong. Sutan went from a criminal record to a model employee when he took control of his life and his actions. 6 years ago, Sutan's life was not what it is today. He was hanging around with the wrong crowds and freely vandalizing around the city of Albuquerque. He was arrested, and it was determined that he had racked up a bill of over $250,000 in vandalism damages all across the city. Sutan was given a choice. He could go to prison or jail for 5 years, or he could work to pay off his debt by working for Clean Cities doing community service to remove graffiti in the city of Albuquerque. So he decided to do just that, turn his life around, accept the challenge, and work off his debt. A decision that I think he might say changed his life. After 300 hours of community service, Sutan paid his debt off to the city and was hired as a temporary worker for our Clean Cities crews. And the Clean City crews are the folks that you see out there every day, making sure that the freeways are clean, making sure that the graffiti is being cleaned up, and that we have a city that looks as beautiful as it does. Sutan completely cleaned up his act, became a model employee, received much praise for his work ethic from his supervisors, and after 3 years as a temporary worker, Sutan was hired as a city employee where he has risen through the ranks consistently. Today he is a crew leader for Clean Cities. He also met his wife at Clean Cities, and together they have a happy, healthy family. Why don't you come on up? This is great. This is a great story. Sutan now takes time to go to high schools around the city. He speaks about his experiences, his challenges, mistakes that he made, and how he turned his life around. He talks about the importance of hanging out with the right crowd, the importance of not doing drugs, and his motto is to, quote unquote, just reach out to one kid. And to him, if he can make a difference in just one life, that will be enough. He's a remarkable individual. He's a fantastic employee. He's taking those taxpayer resources that everybody sends in, and he's putting those to great use. He completely took advantage of an opportunity that was presented to him in a bad situation with mistakes, as I said, that had been made. He's worked hard. He's brought a positive attitude. He's made himself into a great role model for those who may not have had the best of circumstances in their lives or who had made mistakes. I just think this is a wonderful story. I'm going to have Jill Holbert come up and give you a little bit more information on what some of the things that Sutan is doing.
Okay, great. Well, obviously we're very proud of Sutan and Clean Cities Department and all the hard work. You've probably all seen him out there every day as a crew leader and weed litter. But I would like to highlight something the mayor briefly talked about is Sutan recently went to Rio Grande High School and spoke to a classroom of high school students and basically told them, don't do what I did. And I think that's such an important way and an impressive way to give back to the community, to talk to our youth and say, listen, I made mistakes and hopefully you won't make them too. And I think that showed a lot of courage on Sutan's part. High school students are not the easiest crowd. And I think he did a great job. So thank you, Sutan.
Thank you.
That's great. So Sutan, we have an Employee of the Week mug that we always give out for our Employees of the Week. along with an Employee of the Week certificate and also a letter for your personnel file. And if it's okay with you, we'll let the folks from the media do one-on-one interviews, maybe if you'd like to do that afterwards. Just a truly great story, great employee. I just love this story, man. So congratulations to you. What's your wife's name? Rebecca? So you still work on Clean Cities?
No, I work for the Albuquerque Housing Authority now.
Okay, excellent. So you're out there doing community service as well?
I was, yes,
Yeah.
for a couple of years.
Well, good job.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
a lot. Take care. We'll see you. Let's bring up Officer Hector Marquez in the group from APD. How are you? Doing well? Good to see you. Mac, good to see you. So today's Friday's hero is Officer Hector Marquez. We're going to honor Officer Marquez today for going above and beyond the call of duty to help a grandmother and her children who had not eaten if it wasn't for his kindness. Officer Marquez, obviously, is with the Albuquerque Police Department. He went on a standard call to check on a family, but ended up being their hero that day. This past September, Officer Marquez responded to a call where he met a family struggling to make ends meet. A grandmother was raising her 6 grandchildren, all of them under the age of 14. With her parents' absence, the grandmother was straining and struggling to put food on the table. Officer Marquez discovered that the children had not eaten since early that morning, and he could not bring himself to leave the family at the end of the call. He wanted to help. So he went to a local grocery store and he purchased groceries for the family out of his own pocket, and with the help of a $10 donation from an Albuquerque Department firefighter as well. Officer Marquez did not report his act of kindness. His squad mates, however, were so impressed with his act of generosity that the story was soon heard by their superiors and the supervisors, and then kind of went viral, and like it should. Within minutes of Albuquerque Police Department posting Officer Marquez's story online, the Albuquerque citizens started flooding the Facebook page with words of thanks and gratitude for such an officer and his actions. Some comments by Albuquerque citizens on social media were, quote unquote, "This is a class act." Quote unquote, "It's people like this in the world that make fighting another day worth it. Thanks, officer. Thank you for showing that community what community means. And it's so easy to simply take care of each other. You are a hero." Officer Marquez's selfless actions make him a true hero, not just because he gets up every day and puts on this uniform and goes out and protects our families and our community and our businesses and our property and our lives, but because he's got a big old giant heart underneath that bulletproof vest he's wearing. And Albuquerque citizens have already shown their resounding support and gratitude for him, making him a personal hero to them and a personal example, but always knowing that there's someone like Officer Marquez out there who's going to be there for us when we need help, whether it's on a police call or whether it's on the human scale. It's very encouraging to me. I've got Deputy Chief Mac Page here today that's going to say a few more words about the situation, and then we're going to give Officer Marquez Friday's Heroes Coin. Mac?
Thank you, Mayor. I agree with the comments there about a class act. The first time I had the pleasure to meet Officer Marquez, he was being awarded for the Department Officer of the Month for March of this year. So I just want to thank you. I know you didn't seek out this recognition, but it's well deserved, and for going above and beyond and showing the compassion that you did for this family. And I know it's a daily thing for you, and we really appreciate you going above and beyond day in and day out. Well, thank you. And thank you for honoring him.
You betcha. So what we have a Friday's Heroes Coin that we had commissioned specifically for this purpose that we give out to those that go above and beyond the call of duty out there and serving the community. And we're proud of you, and you're part of a great department. And we got men and women in this department to go out every day and do great things. And I just really enjoy as a mayor getting to talk to our community about all the great work that you're doing. So thanks for being a great example.
Thank you,
and appreciate you, and be safe out there.
Appreciate it.
All right,
you.
thanks so much. And today we have an extra bonus. We did this last year, and I'm looking forward to doing it again this year. And today we're going to recognize those involved in planning and implementing this year's National Night Out. So let's get all the participants that are going to come up. Brianna, if you can have everybody come up, Steve, and everybody that's going to be involved in this.
Thank you.
How you doing?
By the way,
Great to
appreciate
see you. Let's bring all our block captains up here. How's everybody?
Good morning.
You gotta be on, if you're gonna get money, you gotta be on camera. So don't be shy. So today we're yeah, come on over this side. If you're not familiar with National Night Out, it is really one of the great things that happens nationally. And I've got my official talking points, but I just want to say a few words before I get into the official presentation. As a mayor, I get a chance, there's hundreds of block parties on National Night Out around the city of Albuquerque each year. And as a mayor, I can only get to 6 or 7 of them. That's just all the time you have in an evening. By the time you go to those 6, and it had 6 hot dogs and 6 hamburgers and 6 Diet Cokes and talk to all the folks, you don't get a chance to go to all of them. So we try to each year go to different ones. And every single time for the last 4 years that we've gone to one of these National Night Out festivities, it's just really encouraging. And I say this all the time. In fact, I said this in my State of the City address just 2 days ago. Great cities, and Albuquerque is a great city, are made up of great neighborhoods, and they're made up of great people. And the good news for us is we have both in abundance. And today we have great examples of that. We're recognizing, as I said, those involved in planning and implementing this year's National Night Out. Local targets in the Albuquerque Block Captains Association were acknowledged for their roles in donating $1,000 to the National Night Out effort. On Tuesday, August 6th, neighborhoods throughout Albuquerque were invited to join forces with thousands of communities nationwide for the 30th annual National Night Out, a crime and drug prevention event. And that's what it really is. It's making neighborhoods safer. National Night Out, which is sponsored nationally by the National Association of Town Watch and co-sponsored locally by the City of Albuquerque, the Albuquerque Police Department, and the APD Crime Prevention Unit. National Night Out serves several purposes for the City of Albuquerque. Number one is heightened crime and drug prevention awareness. We know that when we work together between public safety, neighborhoods, neighborhood leaders, people that care about each other within a several block range, as well as those who care about each other on a citywide range, we know we can combat crime. It's there to generate support for local anti-crime efforts, to strengthen neighborhood spirit and police community partnerships, to renew old acquaintances, and establish new friendships by getting to know your neighbor. In fact, this year, at one of the, I went to the park at Lomas and Tramway. And that's the park we used to take my son. And that's where he learned to ride a bike. And so that was one of the ones I went to this year. And lo and behold, one of the families that we used to have, kind of in a play group over there, I got a chance to see them again. It was really neat. So we certainly got to renew some old acquaintances. And it also sends a message to criminals letting them know that neighborhoods are organized and they are fighting back. And that our partnerships between the neighborhoods and APD and other public safety professionals really do matter. And as I said, when it's us against the criminal activity working together, we're going to succeed. Each year, 10 participating neighborhood associations and 10 neighborhood watch blocks are drawn at random to win a $100 prize. That's who's here today. This year, Target Corporation and the Albuquerque Block Captains Association each donated, as I said, $1,000. Target and ABCA are great partners with APD and are always looking for ways to help protect the community. Target is also the National Night Out sponsor for this event all over the country. So they're a great corporate partnership in cities across the country. ABCA has been working with with APD, a lot of acronyms. I'm just going to say the Block Captains Association has worked with APD since 1985. And the award recipients are encouraged to use the money to create a more safe and secure residential neighborhood. So Steve Sink is with us. He's our crime prevention manager, and I think he's holding stacks of envelopes.
I
How,
am. Got it
how are we
right
going to do this?
We're going to start with the neighborhood associations.
Okay.
The association and the names there.
Okay. You going to read them?
I can read them.
Why
I'd
don't
like
you
to
read
say a couple things first.
Let's do
if
it.
That's okay. Just a couple quick thank yous. First of all, for the support we get from the mayor's office and my chain and the Albuquerque Police Department. But secondly, I want to thank Target and the Albuquerque Block Captain Association. Target is a wonderful friend for the city of Albuquerque, but also APD, and I want to thank you very much for doing that. The Albuquerque Block Captain Association, these are a wonderful group of folks that are there to help me, they help you, and they help the entire city of Albuquerque. So I want to say thank you very much. Many of the board members are here, so thanks for everything that you guys do. I appreciate it. So you want me to read these?
You read.
And you hand them out.
Okay. You're holding the money, man.
Okay.
So you make the rules.
These are the 10 neighborhood associations.
They want you to come on up here.
And Nob Hill, Susan Mitchie.
I'll do this one. Good to see you.
Santa Barbara Martinez Town, Carol. Here she is right here. Presidio Homeowners Association, Melissa.
Congratulations.
And SR Marmon, Brian Jacobs. Rancho Serena, Debbie Cox.
Oh, got it.
Reynolds Edition, Bob Tilley.
Bob, thanks so much.
Huning Castle, Alexis. She's here.
Thanks so much.
Valley Gardens, Marcella. Don't want to give her two.
Almost got $200 there.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Trumbull Village, Joanne.
So,
And Highland Business, Olivia.
Olivia?
And this next 10 are the individual neighborhood watch block captains. Rick Harris on Stanton Place. May not be here. Okay, we had a couple that didn't make it. Mike Redding with High Canyon Trail. Okay, great. Thank you. David Mueller, Vista Bella Place. Lisa Edmonds on Nasrallah. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but we had Lisa. She's not here. All right. Jim Wiggins on Vassar Street Northeast.
Jim?
Jan LaPitz on Rio Plata Drive Southwest. Jan, thank you. And Ann Wimsett on Vulcan Vista Drive. All right. We'll get those to him later. And Vicki Christensen on Royal Oak Drive.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Steve. We appreciate it. I'll give you these back
Yeah,
here.
you got it. Thank you.
Just on a final note, and then everybody stick around. We want to take a photograph or two, and then we'll make you available to the media if they want to ask you a question. We have well over 200, over 250 actually, neighborhood associations in the city of Albuquerque. And what we started doing a couple of years ago is we started having a neighborhood get together, and we invite all of the neighborhood associations to. Last year it was at the Bloom Fiesta, or the Bloom Museum. The year before that it was at the Convention Center. And the reason we do that, and I think it's important, is because everybody's concentrating on their neighborhoods, and that's what we need you to do. You're public servants just like I'm a public servant as a mayor. But we also want each of the neighborhoods to hear from the rest of the neighborhoods. We want to hear people in North Valley to hear what's going on in Borellis. We want to hear people from the west side to hear what's going on the east side, and vice versa. And the reason we do that is because if we can also from time to time back up and look at the city as a whole, then we can start understanding the different things that are happening in the neighborhoods. And this National Night Out is a perfect example of everybody really pulling together and knowing that so many of the issues that we face from neighborhood to neighborhood in Albuquerque or any city across the country are common. There's that common thread. But we have to have leaders that stand up. And so I'm just thrilled to be here with everybody today. The fact that you take time away from your families, your businesses, other things that you could be doing to make your neighborhood even better than it is today, that's how our city's going to keep moving forward. So really pleased to be able to work with you as a fellow public servant, making sure that a great city stays great. So thank you for your time and all that you do. We appreciate you.